My name is Susan Rose, and welcome to the show all about artists. And today we have a special guest, a unique artist, Richard Harrington. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Thanks, Susan. It's great to be here, and the start of our friendship and communication began because of exhibition at the North Adams Library, and which you've been involved in for quite a while, as far as I understand. Anyway, that's...
Well, however, before we begin, I would like to thank Matthew Tucker and Nicole Brown for making the show possible, because without them, there'd be no show. Thank you so much. Richard, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Probably more than you want to know,
Well, we'll stick remember, we only have a half an hour show now, Richard. Just don't use it all up on that.
Yeah, okay. I'm a Berkshire native. I was born in Pittsfield, grew up in Adams, went to high school in North Adams, and then lived in Cambridge and Boston for a very, very long time after high school, and moved back out here roughly 20 years ago. And from the time I was a squirt, so to speak, I have been making drawings and first like little cars at I don't know, 4 years old or something, and then gradually trying to learn to draw people and common objects, and there were no art classes when I was either in grammar school or high school, but my sort of skills as an artist gradually improved with time, but then by the time I was in high school, I took one of those correspondence courses.
Oh, yes. I remember those.
And surprisingly, it was really good, and
I can believe that.
Learning, techniques with gouache and ink, and becoming pretty good at it, and I ended up in high school basically doing quite a bit of illustration for sports events, and I personally was a baseball player in high school, and
me too.
And wanted to I had the ambition of being a sports illustrator, and it was anyway. When I graduated from high school, I applied to Massachusetts College of Art in Boston and was accepted like that, which which surprised me. Like less than 3 or 4 days after I applied, I got the go, so to speak, and so I then gradually just Mass College of Art and basically changed my life in terms of the excellent education, excellent professors, and just increased my ambitions, but at the same time recognized I was a dual major. I was both graphic design and illustration, and which turned out in the long run to be a smart decision, because as things changed over time, available types of employment change, and and so you're able to adapt accordingly. And so staying back relative to the college itself, just really intense influence of learning about color theory, and other aspects of looking at the natural world, looking at the way that colors behave in a very analytical way, and in a sense, these, well, not more than in a sense, literally, these are the principle that we'll be talking about in a minute or two, are the direct outcome of that interest. And but then also skipping back to high school. It was a Catholic high school, and the discipline of basically looking at making pictures when I got to college was very different, because it was basically an age of intense expression, like, abstract expressionism, other types of very vivid and intense types of artwork were being generated both at the school and nationally and internationally. And I was more, as a result of the mindset of like focus and being analytical, which I had basically, I guess, had become a subliminal influence, kicked in. And it's like, so here I am doing extremely nerdy studies with color analysis, and which were just like everyone else's, for lack of a better term, going wild. Anyway.
When did you realize that that color was so important? When about in your
second year of college? Well, actually, first year, and from some of the initial more formal classes that you were required to take, but then the second year was when it really became more apparent that I had a quote unquote gift or something. Or maybe that's not the right way to phrase it. It's more like just became obsessed with it, and the more you learned about it, the more rewarding it became, the more applicable it was to other types of depiction, and so stuck with it, and here's where the dual major actually began to be a wise choice ultimately.
So basically, when did you stop making things, and why? When did you, what was the beginning? Was high school?
Almost. You mean when did I begin making things?
Yeah.
That was just like something you did every day. And so it wasn't as though it was a separate thing from my life. It's like it's there because you do it somehow. And I do remember at one point in graduate school, this other course where I basically had to write philosophical insight about, what art is and why do you make it, and I specifically addressed that question by saying it's an act of will. It's you choose to do it, and you do it. It's like there's the rest of it can basically be taken in all forms of the outcome that people end up producing art. But the reason that to me the willed aspect of doing it is what it's all about. You will do it. If you can't, and if you can't do it, it's like you start to go bananas.
I bet.
You go bananas anyway, but in any case, I don't know whether that answers the question in some ways, I suppose.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yeah.
Very articulately.
Yeah. And so.
When did math get involved? When did you get involved with the math?
I think that became I have to say, when I first year of high school, I almost flunked algebra. I ought to have flunked algebra, and now it's like it's so much fun to look at and learn about. But so I go from almost flunking algebra to acing geometry in the sophomore year, and
there you go.
and that gets back to what I was just saying a moment ago, where the discipline of analyzing forms in a logical way is, I guess, had always been there. Because if you're drawing a figure, for example, and you're trying to depict it accurately, proportion and ratio are absolutely vital.
Right.
And that is, and so there was something solid to essentially make my case, so to speak.
I think I saw some figure drawings of yours. They were very, very interesting.
People are just like, "Bah?"
And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you remember or not, but there was one you gave me and I forgot it. Do you remember it? It was a small, I think it was a figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave it to me and I said, and I left and I said, oh, he may not even remember.
Yeah, it's putting them together in that exhibition that's in North Adams, at the library. I do them one by one. It's like, and you have to do it like within something like 5 to, 6 to 10 minutes or something. And so you develop a system where you realize that all you really have to do is depict edges. You don't have to depict tonality. You don't have to depict. All of those take time, and the beauty of dealing with just the edge, or a depiction of the edge with the line, is it greatly simplifies the process, and you're not in a hurry.
Yeah.
It's as though you're doing a type of calligraphy, like curve goes this way, other curve goes this way, and it's essentially related to what I was learning about letter forms in the graphic design aspect of the education. And so there you go. It's also great being with friends at drawing on Tuesday night.
So let's, Richard, tell us about
These things.
one of the, I think you have this one in the library, don't you?
I do. And this one is, in particular, is the so-called showcase of the showcases.
Yeah.
I had been working at Adobe Systems in California, and when I got back, I was flush with money, and
Did you say flush with money?
flush.
Oh, flush meaning flush.
Yeah, yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
down
yeah.
the toilet.
That kind of flush.
Now I got you.
Not as a royal
That's a
flush,
good way
but
of.
in any case, as a result of learning the technology of their Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, and combining that with my previous understanding of color systems, I decided to work on a series of these, which are their geometry is related to Islamic tiling, and the glow that's there.
Yeah, that glow. I mean,
It's the result
you
of
can see so many different things at so many different places.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's also that the symmetry of it, essentially focusing at the core of the center of this, and the sort of intangible of how this works is that this color is the complement. By complement, I mean one color. If the two are sitting on top of each other, they would result in a type of gray. That's how complementary colors work. But these are not complements of like the three primaries being red, yellow, and blue. These aren't the complements of the secondaries, other orange, purple, and green. These are in between those, which I think they're called the tertiary colors, where and so you end up with a more exotic palette, like and the vividness of how they react with each other is very appealing.
Sure is.
And as a direct result of making this one in particular, and one other that I didn't bring with me, but this and the one that I was just talking about are in the permanent collection of the Fogg Museum at Harvard.
Really?
It's this giant facility that it's now a giant facility. At the time, it was located literally right next to Harvard Yard, and so it's in a climate-controlled room. It's not framed. It's just there, like as though it's in a coffin or something. But
I bet it
the
looks
beauty of it
wonderful.
is that well, this is one other anecdote that basically becomes arresting when you look them up on their website. What happens is, so you type my name in, you type the name of the artwork, and boom, this thing shows up.
Shows up.
And what does it say? Richard Harrington, born 1949, American. And that's it. It's like you're talking about, I don't know, Joseph Albers or something.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, one of the reasons that they acquired this is because they have a significant collection of Joseph Albers' work in their collection, and so it's as though you fit into a niche in the history of art. It's like.
Well, how about if we? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were finished.
So you bring this thing in, and they sign off on it, and you're related, and you have to, when you check out, they have to double check that you haven't stolen
Anything? they kind of did they frisk you? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
They would now probably.
Oh, how
but this
about
other
we
one
see,
is
I was wondering if we could see your video.
What's that?
your video. I was wondering if we could see the video now.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Is that video?
11 pounds, something like that.
So
And,
this,
um,
God, I can't
I've been
believe how
joking
good
that
it
when I
looks.
Doesn't it?
have to
This
move these
is,
things around, it's like
A,
our comedian yoga.
this was from an exhibition in North Adams about, I think about 10 years ago. And the video is by my friend Joanna Gabler. This specific object is called a stellated icosahedron, which is assembled from hardware cloth, very common material. It's like the stuff you in the garden to keep the deer off keep the deer off. Yeah, it's like it's cheap.
Yeah.
There's no welding involved. There's no brazing. There's no soldering. You fold them, and you fold a four-sided pyramid, and then you assemble the set to end up with this the object that you just saw, and then in turn, that was one of the other things that happened in graduate school when I went back to Mass College of Art for graduate school. I began collaborating with an electrical engineer named Matthew Belge. He and I are like this. I mean, still, we've done some things recently over the winter, and so from a mathematical standpoint, what's happening is that imagine there's a theater light to my right.
Okay.
And the theater light, you take the shutters and close them down so there's only a band of pure spectral color that passes through the air. That's exactly what's happening in that sculpture. So when you're moving the object through that in a relatively dark room, the math term for it is a conic section, which is so imagine a cone, and the cone can be sliced through using a stripe of light, and that's exactly what's happening there. But then there's also other phenomena, the moire patterns that are created by this. Just I can't say enough about hardware cloth. It's like when Matt and I first began collaborating, which was in the 1980s, and we got exhibited at MIT, and then had exhibitions in Denmark and Austria, and the De Cordova Museum in Lincoln, and then a bunch of other venues, architects firms and stuff like that in Cambridge. It just was, I could build very large things for a song.
That's good. Huh?
Yeah, like instead of, if you're working with any other material, there's so many collateral types of expenses and dangers. Like for example, any of them are chemically reactive. If you use copper or brass or steel or whatever, it's like, how do you keep yourself clean relative to not getting burns, not getting.
That's what I was thinking about,
like
the welding.
Brass in particular, it's like you leave the salt on your hands basically leaves a deposit on the brass, so you didn't have to clean the brass. If you're rinsing this stuff down the sink, whatever the byproduct is, that's hazardous, and so on and so on. All that said, the reason that I mentioned even those agents, I worked for 7 years for a Japanese architectural sculptor by the name of Michio Ihara. He just passed away about a month ago, and I learned so much from him. Like just he was his undergraduate degree was from the Department of Architecture at MIT, and he was one of those true geniuses about the insight of assembling things with metal, and he did these very large scale architectural sculptures that were, I knew I'd never be able to work at that scale, but nevertheless the
idea,
the thought process, exactly, and the almost any conceivable mistake is correctable, and it's like
how, I was just wondering, how can everyone get in touch with you?
okay, don't do it.
What do you mean?
No, no, I'm just joking.
Oh.
Let's see, RH_Hoosac, HOOSAC @gmail. Richard M. Harrington, mathematical art on any Google search will come up with something. Richard Harrington at Bridges Math and Art Organization. That's another group that I exhibit with almost every year. And then Richard M. Harrington on Facebook as well, and Instagram, or Harrington Richard M. on Instagram, and that's
Okay, that sounds good. Then we got 2 minutes to discuss this painting.
okay.
2
This
minutes.
one is
Well, we're going down to almost 1 minute.
okay. That's okay. This one is the same
Yeah.
geometric set as the one you just saw. The gradient, which is a key feature of being able that you're able to manipulate in Photoshop, and you essentially gradation from the top to the bottom, where the orange units appear forward, they appear backward here, but where they come together, you get this
That
morphing of
morphing.
space, warping of space,
Yes, I see
which
that.
this one, by the way, was purchased by an artist, or rather a mathematician from Hudson, New York. And so it's like, oh, right, I'm okay
Wow,
with
you're
that.
doing all right.
An absolutely wonderful guy, and he'll be here in a couple of weeks to visit the show. And,
Great.
and every time he talks, it's like being with George Burns and Gracie Allen.
We got about a minute left, and I wanted to say everyone to come and see his show at North Adams Library. You'll be very, very impressed. And he has other work there too. And we got about a minute left. Is there anything you want to say?
Just incredibly grateful for this opportunity, and to highly recommend this wonderful woman for whatever you have in mind.
Well, oh my goodness.
Well, let me rephrase that.
No, that's good.
All right.
And I guess we're done.
Yeah,
At the last moment.
All right, a toast, a water toast.
Toast. Yes.
Great.
L'chaim to life.
Phenomenal. Yeah, exactly.